Corruption is a cancer, the words of Ukraine's new president Petro Poroshenko during his inaugural address.
Mr. Poroshenko has vowed to eliminate the backdoor deals plaguing the nation since his post-Soviet days. But can he really change Ukraine?
For answers, VOA's Anita Powell looked into the lifestyle of Ukraine's ousted former leader Viktor Yanukovych, and she tells On Assignment's Rebecca Ward what it's like talking to Ukrainians about their country.
It's really interesting. This is a new experience for me, especially since I'm reporting in a country with such a big burden of history. You ask somebody a question about how they feel, and they will take you back in history 800 years. But the people of Ukraine are really warm and generous and funny and very entertaining.
And you've had quite a visit because you've been to the presidential palace, which I understand is extraordinary.
Yeah, to clarify, it's the ex-presidential palace. It's not an
Correct.
Official residence. It's in a style that we call here oligarchsky. A lot of gilt, a lot of mirrored surfaces, a lot of marble, not a lot of, some people would say, taste. It's a massive, massive structure. It's built on a nature reserve. And it's just all chandeliers, ceilings, gilt, crystal, flat screen TVs, and more flat screen TVs, and more flat screen TVs. There's a flat screen TV above every single bathtub. But I think it's emblematic of corruption, it's emblematic of evil, it's emblematic of waste and excess. And the Ukrainian people certainly feel that Mr. Yanukovych embodied that.
It was tales of Viktor Yanukovych's excessive lifestyle at his Giri Estate, furnished at the expense of his people, that brought thousands of protesters to Kiev's central square in February to demand his ouster. Since he's fled to Russia, his home has become an unlikely tourist magnet. But although Mr. Yanukovych's fabled golden toilet never existed, corruption is a very real problem in Ukraine. Fighting corruption is not easy, says anti-corruption crusader Alexander Kostrenko. He questions President Petro Poroshenko's vow to fight corruption from within.
Authorities shouldn't establish anti-corruption committees inside their ministries. How can state authorities organize their own state officials to fight against themselves? It's ridiculous.
But Kiev Region Deputy Governor Dmytro Krystyuk says government has a big role to play.
The authorities' credibility now is extremely low. To regain people's trust, we need to make the access to the officials transparent and open.
Now, you also profiled the mayor of Kiev, who kind of a colorful figure who was a boxer. So tell me about your experience talking with him.
Vitali Klitschko actually knows how to fight. People do take him seriously. It's hard not to when the guy's 6'7". Yeah, I think we took a picture together, and his fist was approximately the size of my head. He's not really the kind of guy who you take lightly. But more importantly, he's a really successful businessman. People really not only love Vitali Klitschko, they clearly love him, but they respect him.
What about the media taking Klitschko seriously?
You know, I think this is the only note of cynicism that I've expressed. I think that the media here is so enamored of him, and they do definitely take him seriously because he makes some very good points.
People want clear, understandable rules. Rules of law, equal opportunity for business, the good chance for every Kiev citizen, the citizen of capital of Ukraine, for the future.
But nobody's really asked him about his own business connections. For example, how did he manage to open a boutique hotel in Kiev in 2012 when, to hear this new administration tell it, you couldn't get anything done during the Yanukovych era without greasing palms and knowing people. I think people want to believe, but he just has this iconic status in Ukraine. I mean, he and his brother have held every single heavyweight title. That's not nothing. And I think people do take him really seriously.
Now, the president and the mayor both are working on corruption, but they probably need to work on the economy as well. So have they laid out any plans for how to get the economy back on track?
Well, the important element in the economic question is Ukraine's association with the European Union. That is going to open up a lot of economic opportunities for Ukraine and also introduce a lot of regulations. For, as you know, the EU regulates everything from the content of peanut oil and potato chips to the type of coloring that you can use in candy. So, I mean, that's going to be an adjustment for Ukraine, but I think people largely do it as a benefit.
All right, VOA's Anita Powell there, bringing us that inside look at Ukraine.